It's early morning. I'm here on Bourbon Street, decided to go for a run and do a little filming today. So what I'd like to talk about, I think this is really important, it is to me, is what I love about final expense sales and the benefits of being a producer. So stick around and I'm going to go over several different reasons, and I think you're going to really appreciate what I've got to say coming up next. Hey guys, in case we haven't met, I'm Douglas Massi, and I'd like to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Final Expense Trainer. If you're new to our channel, we definitely recommend that you subscribe and click on the little bell looking thing that's down there next to the subscribe if you'd like to be notified when we do put out new training videos. We also ask that you give the video a thumbs up or like so that we know you're actually watching the video. One of the main reasons that I got into final expense sales was actually because it's a relatively easy sale, at least from my perspective. I sold home improvements for years, and that was pretty hard, pretty difficult. I would go weeks without making sales. Also, I came from the mortgage protection market. So with mortgage protection, you're working in the evenings, selling professionals life insurance, and it was the same thing. I had a lot of days where nobody would buy. You know, you're selling to professionals. They think they know it all. So it's kind of a tough sale, especially if they've got some type of insurance through work. Another thing that I really love about our business is that we are helping people. Think about it. At the end of the day, when I go to sleep at night, I know I did the right thing. I know that I did everything possible to help Mrs. Jones, to make sure that her family isn't stuck having to pay for her funeral when she's gone, to make sure that her grandchildren are getting something extra to remember her by when she's passed away. Another important thing about final expense sales is that final expense life insurance is a necessary product. It's a needed product. So the one thing that I learned about sales is if you're going to sell something, you want to sell something that is needed. You want to sell something that people are actually needing. That's final expense for sure. Think about it. We're all gonna die someday. Do you want to leave your family with the debt? Mrs. Jones doesn't either. Now let's talk a little bit about being a producer. Another thing that is extremely important about our business is that we actually make what we earn. In other words, if you're the type of person, the usual suspect, you're willing to work 40 or 50 hours a week, you'll make the same amount of money that most people earn that work those type of hours. However, if you've got a really strong work ethic, you can make a lot of money in our business just by putting in the effort and the hours. If you're like what Mariana and I did in our first year in the business, we were putting in 80+ hour weeks. That's why we made so much money. That's why we made so many sales in our first year. So let's talk a little bit about success. If you're doing final expense sales and you're actually pretty successful at it, you're able to make a very lucrative living and actually end up doing whatever it is you really want to do. If selling life insurance isn't your ultimate dream, if you're successful at it, you do what you want. You want to open up, I don't know, a barbershop, a restaurant, open up a barbershop, a restaurant. When it comes to life insurance sales, we are in the driver's seat. We're able to make the kind of money that allows us to do things that most people aren't able to do. I'm going to bring up one last thing, and this isn't the last reason why I like to do what we do, why I love doing final expense sales, but it's a really good reason. Renewals. So what I'm talking about, if you're not a licensed agent, is the money that we make on the back end. When I make a sale today, I'm actually going to be paid money on that sale next year, the year after, the year after that, and so on and so on. And for a lot of the final expense carriers, the final expense products, you actually get paid renewals for over 10 years. So if you're successful at final expense sales, 5 years from now, your renewal checks will actually be bigger than most people's regular check. In other words, talk to your next door neighbor, ask him what he makes. Your renewal check alone will probably be more money than what he's seeing. Guys, if you're interested in some information about our final expense sales program, in other words, about working with me at United Final Expense Services, feel free to shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. Remember, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will take care of itself. So get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting, guys.